Costco, a place you go to spend $500 on a box of 15 rotisserie chickens because they're like $2 cheaper a chicken. And I recently found out that people actually buy electronics at a Costco. Now I knew they had electronics, but apparently it's a common thing to do. So for today's video, I bought a gaming laptop from Costco to see what you get for your money. But first, today's video is sponsored by a better place to buy electronics, Micro Center, and the grand opening of their new Charlotte, North Carolina location, opening on May 10. And if you sign up using the link down below and go to the grand opening, you can get a free 128 gig flash drive. Micro Center is also hosting an Apple sales event through all of April, so save some money on your campus codpiece today. And Micro Center is offering new customers $25 off CPUs using the link in the video description. Again, links for all of these are down in the video description. Thank you Micro Center for sponsoring today's video. Now we're going to talk about pricing and what kind of selection Costco has later in the video. But first, let's meet the laptop I bought, which was the cheapest gaming laptop they had available. Now our Costco acquired gaming laptop is by Acer. Ooh, this is the second video in a row I'm picking on them, so sorry about that. This is quite nice packaging for a laptop. We've got a whole bunch of raw cardboard going on here, although there is plastic for no reason hiding under here. And in that plastic is our 135 watt power brick with its Mickey Mouse ears and the cable for said power brick. And aside from the bunch of random warranty information, we also get an unmarked envelope. Ooh, very suspicious. I'm kinda hoping this is a secret cry for help from an Acer employee wanting freedom from the tyranny of Costco, or the other way around. Oh, okay, we get some stickers and more booklets. Why were the rest of them not in this envelope as well, or why were these not in an envelope? Either way, it's weird. So this is what a Costco gaming laptop looks like, huh? It's some Acer Nitro variant with digital skid marks on it. Now physically, the laptop is really not very inspiring. The build quality is extremely plasticky and it doesn't look great. In terms of I/O, there's some of it on the right hand side with a bit of ventilation, nice. Around the back there's just a bit of copper provocatively winking at me. And the majority of the I/O is on the left side of the laptop, proof that Acer hates left-handed people, at least according to the internet. But as a normal person, I do prefer it this way around. Let's see if it passes our one-hand open test. Yeah, I was gonna say, it feels like it should, and it does. Display hinge wise, I feel like Asus's lawyers need to have a chat with Acer, because it has the same lift the body up display hinge as Zephyrus laptops. And then here, it looks like laptop. Yeah, the keyboard feels okay. We've got a numpad, which for tax accountants is very important. The trackpad is aight. This display hinge is so similar to the Zephyrus. It even dumps all of its heat over the display like it does on that laptop. But generally, build quality wise, this is distinctly a budget laptop. You've got not great plastic around the not very thin bezels around the display, which does give you decent webcam placement, but still, the build quality is not inspiring at all, which, depending on the price, can be completely acceptable. But that's something we're going to talk about later. Oh, I did forget. I do want to look on the back of it, which aside from a bunch more ventilation peeking through at all of the cooling going on there, which is nice, this bottom panel does seem like it's going to be pretty easy to remove. Yeah, let's quickly take it off and peek inside. Getting the back off was as easy as undoing 11 screws and gritting my teeth through some medium cracking. Now, not great build quality and downward-facing speakers aside, that is quite a sexy laptop interior. There is a lot of heatsink going on here for the CPU and the GPU, and then we've got these two fans. The RAM is fully upgradable. There is an M.2 drive in here and space for another one next to that. Everything that's replaceable is pretty easy to access. It wasn't that bad getting the bottom off. Yeah, generally, for 2024, this is a really good laptop interior. After turning on the laptop and weathering its initial shouting, please, no, please, how do I make the accessibility icon? Ah, there we go. Things were looking very familiar. Oh, there's our obligatory weird background. This one looks like it was directed by Christopher Nolan for some reason. And the whole syphilis situation was exactly what you'd expect from any Acer device. Ooh, the Windows experience is aggressively slow on this laptop. I guess it's still setting up. But putting that aside, specs-wise, the CPU is an Intel i5-13420H. It's nice to see the Intel number get more convoluted by the day. As we saw in the teardown, we've got two 8GB sticks of DDR5 running at 5200 MHz, a 500 gig SSD, and the mighty RTX 2050, a laptop GPU I actually tested in quite a lot of detail recently, and it's, well, not very fast, to be honest. You can check that video out, I'll have it linked in the description below, but let's see how it performs in this context. Okay, now CS2 with low settings at 1080p is running well. Like, this is a super usable result. This is a 120Hz 1080p display, so yeah, this, like, we're getting way more frame rate than we need with this display, and it feels very good. It's nice and responsive. It is quite noisy. It comes and goes in waves. It really does sound like a typhoon because it kind of whooshes up every now and then in a way that's very reminiscent of a storm that's about to do billions in property damage. Low whoosh aside, temperatures are very good for a gaming laptop, although our 2050 isn't drawing much power. So let's swap over to Cyberpunk and see what the power modes do in terms of performance. Oof, at 1080p medium settings, it isn't going great in terms of Cyberpunk. It also doesn't feel very good, but we do have DLSS, so we could definitely get some more frame rate. But let's see what happens when we make the laptop a bit angrier. We're currently using the daily use profile, which sets us to auto fan speeds. But let's see what happens when we turn the mode to performance. Ooh, the fans have gotten a lot angrier. Now, aside from the apocalyptic noise, performance-wise, it's made no difference. Very good. But with that, let's see how this laptop performs in the most important game for it to run well. It's the next day, and I just got caught off guard again by how super noisy this laptop is. This is currently in the performance mode, and the fan profile is just wildly aggressive. It does give us desktop level temperatures, but you really have to pay for it, like, very dearly. Having said that, it does give you the option to customize the fan profiles. And with the fan set to 3000 and a bit RPM, the noise was way better and the temperatures were still acceptable. But yeah, this gaming laptop runs Fortnite as well as you'd want a gaming laptop to run Fortnite at 1080p. And with this high refresh rate display, it feels pretty good. Having said that, the display isn't great. It measures like butt cheeks. That's the only way I can describe it. Those are very bad measurements, which means you can't use this for anything even remotely color sensitive. Although, for gaming, it looks fine. You know, it's okay. Inside. So now that we've had a look at our lower mid-range Acer laptop that gives you just medium dysentery, let's see how much it cost from Costco. Now, when I initially did the research for this video, there must have been like a site-wide gaming laptop sale on Amazon, because every laptop I looked at, which both retailers sold, it was at least 200 Canadian dollars cheaper on Amazon. And that's why I was like, well, this is an interesting video. Clearly, Costco is very expensive. That wasn't the only problem I saw. We'll talk about the others in a second, but at the moment, there seems to be price parity. Most of these gaming laptops that you can buy on Costco seem to cost about the same amount on other retailers. So that's the MSRP of those laptops, I'm guessing. So for a quick example, here is the laptop that I looked at, which is the cheapest gaming laptop I could buy from Costco for 1,000 Canadian dollars. And as you can see, one person did in fact get full-blown dysentery from theirs. But if you go onto Amazon's website, that's what it costs there now too. And then aside from price, another problem is selection. Not only isn't there really any budget options, that $1,000 laptop was the cheapest one they have. The rest of them range between $1,400 2,400 and 2,400 Canadian dollars. But a lot of these laptops are also older models that aren't particularly desirable. It doesn't look like Costco has a very high turnaround rate for their gaming laptops. The same thing goes for their desktop gaming systems. It's just a bunch of terrible pre-builts that I imagine exist in abundance in LAN centers and purgatory. Basically, the point is, a lot of their selection you just shouldn't be buying, which I guess is the case everywhere, but it's the ratio of abomination that's unsettling here. Can you buy like a PS5 from here? So it's 660 Canadian dollars for the slim bundle with Spider-Man and an extra controller, which is actually a pretty good price. You can get it for a little bit cheaper from Best Buy, but that's with just one controller. So at the end of the day, should you buy a gaming laptop from Costco? Well, I personally wouldn't, because their selection is mainly made up of older butt-cheeks laptops that you can probably get for cheaper somewhere else. So yeah, with that, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to the channel, watch another video, suggestion will pop up in a second, and until the next video, bye bye.